Hi, so today I'm going to be talking about stretches to do before and after meets or practices and why you should do them. Before we get started with the video, I would just like to talk about how important it is that you do these stretches before and after your meets or practices because it reduces the risk of injury by so much. Um, and it also helps prevent them. I mean, you could still get an injury, but it won't be as bad. Um, it also improves flexibility, and so you're not strained, and it also increases your range of motion, especially if you're a sprinter. You're going out explosive and fast, and you don't really have time for you to getting a cramp in the middle of 100 free. And next, it improves your circulation and helps get blood where it needs to be during your races. And it's just so much better for you, especially as a swimmer, as any athlete, really, but mainly as a swimmer. Okay, so first up, I have the yoga pose. I like to call it the yoga pose because it is similar to a very popular yoga pose. And all you're doing here is stretching your legs and lower back, and as you can see, this is the position for it. You would also like to lean a little bit more forward to really get that stretch. So next up, we have windmills, and I really love this stretch because it's so easy, and all you have to do really is stretch from the bottom of your toes to the very tips of your fingertips, and then you just gotta start speeding it up a little more. This is such a good stretch because it really stretches out the whole body, and if you're like short on time right before you dive or right before you get on the blocks, you can do this and be all warmed up for your race. Now we have the streamline stretch. There might be a different name for this, but I don't know it, so we're just gonna go with the streamline stretch. I like to call it the streamline stretch because you have to maintain a position of streamline while sitting on the ground and lifting your feet up. This also engages your core, which is so good because it warms it up as we use our core a lot while we're swimming. And yeah, you stretch your legs out a little bit too with this stretch, but it mainly works for your back. Now we have the hip and knee rotations. So I love doing these rotations because this really warms up your hip flexors and just overall it stretches all those strings there, and you never know, you might pull something, so this will really help prevent it. Now we have the walking stretch. I really like to call this one the walking stretch because you're essentially walking forward with your hands and then just going into a doggy position. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, the pose. If it's not, then let me know. And then you just raise your hands up, stretch all of that, and then go back down. Where you're really supposed to feel this is your back and a little bit on your hips, especially when you're going down to that doggy position. Next up, we have the fly stretch. So I like to call this one the fly stretch because you have to go like into push position and lay flat on the ground and then pull, then put your arms down and just go up like super. And just hold it there for a few seconds.
Yeah. All right. From here, let's lower your head and bring your arms around like you're finishing your butterfly stroke.
And then push, do like a fly like
Like
stroke,
that.
and
Bring your
put your
arms
arms
in
straight. As you do this, you
underneath
should
like you're
really
about to go
feel
push
like a
up.
few poppins here in your
Push
shoulder.
into
That's
your
how you
upper
know. And then you go back into
facing dog.
doggy position.
We're gonna do
I
this a couple more
absolutely love
times.
this stretch, especially if you're a
Lower your
flyer.
body.
It will help
Bring your arms
fly not
behind you and
affect your
lift everything off
posture
the
as much
ground.
because I've seen a lot of flyers,
And
especially one of my
lower your
friends.
head
She
and bring
like
your arms
slouches a lot,
around.
so this should probably help you with
And then
that.
bring your arms underneath you like you're
And
doing a
once again, you're
push-up.
working your back muscles
And
too,
then
which is what
upward
you use a
facing
lot in
dog.
fly.
Now I see that some
And
of
you
you are
also
bringing
use
your
your back
arms
muscles
around
in almost every other
before you
stretch,
bring
so
your
this
head
is
down.
really good too.
And if you do that on land, chances are you're gonna be doing that in the water.
And last but not least, especially for your legs, like your calves and your thighs
And
and your hamstrings.
stretch.
We have the knee bounces. So this is
Breathe in
such
for
a
4
good
seconds. More
stretch
bouncing.
because
4
you
seconds.
stretch while you're
1,
bouncing, and
2,
then you go straight
3,
into like
4,
almost
and you're
touching
gonna
your
stretch for 4
toes with
seconds.
straight knees,
4,
no bending, no
3,
nothing.
2,
As you can see
1. 3
here,
bounces.
everybody's doing
1,
that. And then
2,
you're just going straight
3, and
back
you're gonna
into knee
stretch for 3
bounces.
seconds.
After
1,
a few reps, you'll
2,
really feel that stretch
3,
back
2
there,
bounces.
and
1,
it's all warmed up
2,
and ready to go.